Hey everybody, welcome back to the chirp. That's what I'm calling it now. I checked with the cool kids, so don't worry, we're all good there. You'll notice that there's an extra person in the video today. My lovely assistant, also known as my wife. Probably seen her in a couple of other videos. She helped out with the dyno of our LS3 crate motor, which made some really good power. She helped put everything back together and kind of my extra set of hands around the place. Today we're going to do a back to basics video about bleeding brakes. This works for your street cars, works for your race car, it doesn't really matter. But it is something that is part of general maintenance, and it's something you got to do anyway. It's a two-person job. I like to do it two-person. I have tried those hand pumps, and I've tried the vacuum bleeders, and for whatever reason, I just can't get them to work. This way is tried and true. If you don't have any friends, well, you know, but borrow one. I married my friend, so it's easy to just have her come out and do this. I tend to bleed more than most people, not personally, but the car. Because you know, when you're on the racetrack and you boil fluid, it's really a bad thing. So if you've got some fluid with some off color or something, you know, it's just something good to do every 30,000 miles on your street car anyway. This works for ABS, non-ABS. I've got the dirty job, so you can see my hands, and the wife's got the clean hands there, so she's wearing the nice clothes there. I have to wear the dirty shop clothes. And so she's got the important job of pushing the pedal and making sure all the bubbles get out, and I've got the other job on the brake end, which makes get all the bubbles out. And that's what we're going to do. Hope you enjoy the video, and yeah. So bleeding brakes with a two-person system takes a little bit of teamwork. So I've got the dirty end here, and the wife has got the clean job, which is being in the car and pushing the pedal for making things better and whatnot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 10mm wrench, I'm going to put it right here on the bleeder, and I'm going to put up my hose up to the end of it, and I'm going to tell her to go ahead and pump the brake. She's going to pump 3 times, it could be 3 or 4, it doesn't really matter. She's going to hold the pressure down, and I'm going to say, go ahead. She's going to say on, which means that it's ready to go. I'm going to open the bleeder, and opening the bleeder will hopefully get a lot of the air out. I'm going to say off. She's going to take her foot off the pedal and then restart the process again. You know, after I tighten everything back up. So it builds up pressure. What you're doing is you're sending stuff through the lines and trying to squeeze all those air bubbles out of there. Now, mind you, on here, the bare brake system has 2 bleeders on it, one on the outside and one on the inside. Always do the outside one first because it's got to travel from over here through a tube that goes all the way up over to here, so you've got the longest line here, and always start with the longest line first. So you're going to do the outside first, then do the inside one. Always start from the back and then work your way forward. There are a couple situations where some oddball cars will have like the right rear and then the right front, and then you'll do the left rear and then the left front. So just always make sure, but usually that's the case. Right rear is usually the first, left rear, right front, and then left front, because that's closest to the master cylinder, and that way you'll get most of the air out. All right, so over on the master cylinder side, you want to make sure that the color of your fluid is good. If you can't see it, or it's brown, or it's got some weird discoloration to it, it's bad. You got to throw it out. For our purposes, we use a high temp fluid, nondescript bottle. I'm not being paid to talk about their stuff, but it is a high temp, and it might rhyme with Billwood fluid. But you never want to let this go dry, because the second you let this go dry, you inject air into the system, and that just makes you have to start all over again. So I always check this every time, every side I do, just to make sure that there's plenty of fluid in there. And you know, I bleed more frequently than most people, and it's just a good idea, especially if you're racing and pushing the brakes hard. Now, what for making a stiff, firm pedal? Don't get cute with that. The wife will be the one working the pedal. She's got the clean job, and usually she's so bored she's, you know, surfing Facebook while I'm, you know, actually doing some work. But she's gonna push the pedal 3 or 4 times, and when I tell her to go, and there she goes, and she's on the last one, she's gonna hold it, and that's when I open the bleeder, let all the air out, and I'm gonna close the bleeder real quick. I'm gonna say off. She's gonna take her foot off pedal, and she's gonna start the whole process again, just like that. So we got a nice firm pedal, so that you have plenty of brakes when it comes to woeing up. Alright, so here's a close-up. I've got my 10mm wrench. I've got a hose on my bleeder here. My lovely assistant will go ahead and pump the pedal 3 times and hold. Right now, go ahead. She said on, so that means I can crack this bleeder a little bit and see if I can get some air coming out of there. Oh, yep, there's a couple, see all those little tiny bubbles. I'm going to close it up real quick. Off. She's going to take her foot off the pedal. And we're going to repeat this as many times as possible so we can get all those little tiny air bubbles out of this line. Thanks everybody for watching the video. Hope this is helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and come on back. We're going to do some other more basic videos for the whatnot having fun and basic maintenance. So come on back. Wife has left me alone here, so I'm going to see what kind of trouble I can get into in the garage. See you later.